Hey folks, welcome back to Atlantis, and caveat, it's pretty late for me. I'm pretty tired, so this might be a short one, but it's also a very busy work week for me, so my opportunities to record are limited. I'll try not to sound too tired, I'll try not to ramble too much, but hey, I ramble in these videos for part of what I was going to say for a living, but this is not my job. So anyway, added in a couple of cool mods thanks to suggestions from him. One of them is his, and one of them is the vertical nav mesh, which adds this cool feature in. It's a cool mod, go check out. The other one, which was also a suggestion for him, and is, I don't remember the name of it, but what it does is it lets you place no, I can't remember the name of it. Let's just have a look in mods. Colony Planner. It lets you place buildings that you have yet to unlock, which probably means when I make use of it, I'll place a building down and I'll forget that I still need to unlock it to build it. But hey, I thought it was kind of cool. So yeah, last time we started with our plan of breaking out. Couple of things, I guess. A bunch of you keep asking about negative water sources. As far as I am aware, the only negative water sources are these three. The rest of them around the map, and if we just bring up dev controls, are all just strength 0 sources. And I'm going to click on one and it's not going to be, but that is everyone that I've looked at is a strength 0 source. They are purely there to hold the water on the map. So that's that. One of you had a really good suggestion. The tutorials come back up. Settings. Disable tutorial. Thank you. Keeps coming back up for some reason. Which was to make use of this. Because we have water here. If we just roll this back, we have water here. And we have the ability now, because we have science, to unlock the fill valve. If I'd been speedier, we'd have built it beforehand. But what we can do is we can try and be clever and build up around it, and then build something around this and put some water pumps in here and start pumping water out of this. And I really liked that idea. So we're going to have a look at doing that. It essentially means getting a fill valve on one of these blocks and then deleting the levees behind it, and that's not unachievable. I'd kind of like to get rid of these, and that doesn't seem like it's going to be a problem because they are not hooked up to anything. They're just part of the features. So we're going to set that to empty. And I'm going to set those to be demolished. We'll eventually set those to be demolished, and we'll come back to that in a little moment. The other really good suggestion that I had, very smart suggestion from Namur, because he often gives me useful suggestions, was to make use of contamination barriers. And we are actually on cycle 5, so we are at the point we could start to see a bad tide. So what I think we'll do is go into planting crops, and we'll unmark a bunch of stuff for planting. I'm going to leave this stuff by the edge just because it'll be easier to not faff with. Some of this stuff we'll just delete. And And we'll just aim to clear our way around the edge. And then we can essentially put in a nice load of contamination barriers. Let's make sure that the trees are marked for cutting. I mentioned I'm in a hotel tonight, so things yet again might sound a little different. You might also occasionally hear the hotel I'm in has a gym on the floor below me, and every so often you can hear gym-like activities. Well, I can, and I can feel them, so, you know, just one of those things. So let's get the game running. And yeah, now, I guess there's a few things. They will probably end up prioritizing building this stuff, but as soon as we've got this emptied out, we will focus on getting this done. Over here, we just need the metal blocks. Now, I endlessly have problems with the productivity of my metal production. It just seems to be a thing. Now let's make sure that these are prioritized to be built. And probably what it's worth us doing is jumping in and doing a little bit of automation on this guy. And so we're going to do an input scrap metal greater than, let's do a greater than or equal to 3. I know we only need 2, but that gives us a little bit of headroom. We're going to do a resume. We're also going to do a district stock of scrap metal, and we'll combine them. And then we'll grab the metal blocks. Save. We'll set this one up properly now, and then we won't have to come back to it. We can just expand from there. District capacity metal blocks. There we go. So let's go Bosch. So we want U plus Control C, Control B, U. So we want to make sure that as a district we've got more than 3 scrap metal, and by using the input and the stock, it accounts for the fact that the beavers move the supply into the building. And then we want script, we want to have space, so the stock of scrap of metal blocks is less than script the capacity of metal blocks. And I always go for 0.8. If you watch me do this, you've seen me do that loads of times. We can then discard all of these and the empty one, delete them. We then duplicate this one, invert it, and now what we're doing is we're checking if the input of scrap metal plus the district stock of scrap metal is less than 3, or if the district stock of metal blocks, and we're going to edit that, is greater than or equal to 90% of the district capacity. We pause, and there we go. So that'll take care of that guy. Probably this one needs automating as well. So, and again, we'll do something very similar. I'm just going to do the district supply of planks for this one. I'm not going to worry about it being too fancy. We'll do a 2. We'll do a resume, save. I'm not going to worry about the pine resin at this point until we get much bigger, because we should be okay for pine resin. And then we're just going to do treated planks. And at the moment I am going to be a bit lazy on this one because it's been a long day, and we're just going to do that. And we're going to do script, and we're going to do, and I actually want that number to be different to that because I've set the pause condition. So we're going to do Control V, and we're going to do less than 6, save, discard, close, duplicate, invert. And yeah, some of you sometimes ask why sometimes I do it properly and sometimes I do it lazily. And it purely is just because it depends whether I want to spend a long time doing automation stuff or not. And we've just spent ages doing the metal one, so I just wanted to quickly get the other one set up so that we are being more efficient. And at some point I'll come back to it and go over it properly, you know. And we can grab that at some point. So let's come back and have a look at over here. So this is now empty. I am going to grab a B to duplicate it, B being the best letter of duplicate. And then we can prioritize these guys to get rid of those, and we can start working on that. And that'll more quickly let us start to speed up our water pumping quite significantly and shift our water pumping to pumping from the outside. And we'll probably pause these inside ones and just let that water go out. You know, that seems sensible to me. I am being paranoid. I am octuply checking. But I think we can get rid of these guys safely. And that's just going to give us a bit more room to work. That's the only reason I'm doing it. And what we'll do is, again, the levy here is slightly overkill. But, you know, overkill, as they say, is underrated. And that is a quote from an audiobook that I like. And if you can name the audiobook, you get an internet cookie. Now, this is, I know we're a little bit low on logs, so I'm not going to do unnecessary building. In fact, we probably want to think about getting our forester up and running as well. So let's think about that. I might have said that we were going to do that this time, and I've forgotten because, well, you know, that happens, folks. That happens. So we are going to name that Erig. I can spell. Depth 2. We'll then do create rule if signal greater than 0.6. We pause, save, duplicate, invert, script 0.4, save and close. And then let's move that path to there. Yep. Let's get rid of you. Goodbye. You are done. We could start thinking about contamination barriers. Which fire? This is the colony planner thingamabob. I like that it has a big old notification on it, but we are just going to unlock the blueprint. And there he goes. Awesome. All right. I like that it has that big old notification. That makes it a little bit less likely that I will forget. I'm going to do that because that'll project a nice chunk of stuff. We're going to unlock I don't like that it removes the unlock option straight away. Let's do you. Yeah, I'm not sure I like that change in how the interface works, but you know, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. I'm going to prioritize those because then we can get some trees growing. And we like trees growing. We're going to want to move those lumberjacks at some point soon. But that'll be okay. And I guess we're going to want to mark some more trees to be cut. So let's take you 2, 3, 4 is probably a good number of lumberjacks, I think, don't you? I'm glad you agree with me. You've clearly got very good taste. And we're going to mark a bunch more trees to be cut down. Do you know why? Because we need more logs. Yep, that's exactly why. And then we're going to plant, we will come on to the purifying reeds and the tainted spring root in the future. But we're going to plant a bunch of oak trees. So those are part of the mod that if you watched the last series, I've forgotten the name of it. The mod that we were using to clean bad water, they're part of the Folktails equivalent of that. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Anyway, let's encourage the building of those folks, please. We've got a nice little lump of beaver population going on. I put this shrub down in case you're wondering, because when I loaded up the game with the new mods in, for some reason it was determined that I was going to have to do the tutorial because I didn't realize it'd been so long. I didn't realize you could just switch the tutorial off, and placing a shrub is part of doing the tutorial. I think you can be gone. Our food supply and our water supply is pretty good, and we could do with more beavers, so you can be gone also. Do I unlock? Do I have the science to unlock? There's a question for you. It was definitely a question. I do not like that change. Let's just place it there for a second. 250 science. I do not like that change to the interface at all. I'm very tempted actually to remove that mod when we come back. But on a different note, I think therefore I be. I'm going to bung those there. I'm going to get those built, and we're going to start increasing the size of our housing. Why are you all thirsty? There's loads of water. Just drink it. Stupid beavers. Right, we've started to plant trees. That's good. We're going to come in here and we're going to remove the berries because we don't like berries. They are very, very bad. Just like my jokes. Let's throw those in. You are going to be prioritized by haulers. And I guess one of the reasons that we are suddenly a bit lower on workforce is because someone drastically increased the number of haulers. By drastically, I mean he put it up to 6, which is not that drastically, I guess. But it is more, you know. Yay, the power's going. If we could just get that built, that would be wonderful. Did we get the other one built yet? We did, right. So let's sort out this automation. So we have this set so that the threshold is 2%. And what we want actually is for it to be... Actually, no, that's okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to automate this off of this. And then we're going to automate this off of this, and we're going to automate this off of this. And that means that when the battery runs out, these will also pause on top of their advanced automation rules, because you can use them all together. And I think that is really quite cool. And I just like it. It's just a really nice way of managing everything. So that's what we're doing. How are we doing out here? We are still building stuff out here, but we're going to start building stuff in here. Because we do have some logs, so let's... we're basically going to double this up and then delete this, and that will be fine. It's not as super neat, and if we ever get so the water's low enough, then we'll retreat it, but until that point we can't. So, you know, yeah, I really don't like that interface, but anyway. So what I'd quite like to do to make it look neater is build up here, just so that looks nicer. It's completely frivolous with our use of logs, but you know. And what we're going to do is prioritize that above the stuff that's outside. And we're also going to come over here, mark a bunch of these to be deleted, and then we will prioritize them. And let's get you as well. We'll prioritize you, and hopefully they'll come delete those, and we can plant some trees in there, because that would be good. And we have a drought approaching, which is even gooder, because that means we've got a little while before the bad tide comes. We will start to preemptively put in the things. That's a technical term, by the way. Those not working in a, you know, like an engineering field or such might not be familiar with the technical terms that I use, but yeah, thing is a technical term, you know. And I don't hold it against you if you don't understand such advanced technical engineering terms, you know. It's fine, it's fine. I do try and dumb it down for folks, but you know, sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget. Hopefully you won't hold that against me, you know. Too far from a district? You're having a laugh, aren't you? Oh, maybe you're not. Okay, so you can build that one, but not that one. What if I connect to that up? Still too far from a district. I don't believe you, given that you've built that, but you won't build that. And you're building that one. You just hate me, game. You just hate me. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here. We're going to come here. And I guess we'll build a couple of ladders. And we'll get you that way. And we'll do that. So there. So how much water depth have we gained? Nearly 2 blocks. That's not insignificant, I guess. Not insignificant. I mean, we're not going to be able to get many water pumps in here because I said I don't want to destroy this structure. Unless we get access to explosives, and then we could. But, you know, at the moment, we're going to be a little bit limited. I think we might only be able to get one. Unless we bring this out a bit. But anyway, we will hopefully soon be on the course of getting these going. Oh, yep, there's the drought. Let's do a similar thing to last time. And pause you. We're a 6-day drought-ish. We are, I'm going to go, it's got to be 0.95 that, hasn't it? Yep. You need to be paused just in case they kick in. But anyway. Right. You are waiting on gears. Okay, fair enough. Anyway, can they reach those? They can. They're just not doing it. Well, that's not very helpful, is it? No. How is that too far from a district when they've built all of that? I don't believe you. You've got most of it built and you've decided you're too far from a district. Oh, the game's just teasing me. It's teasing me. Okay. Well, I guess what I'll do is I'll do that. And I'll do that. And see if in that case you don't want to take the pee out of me. You know? We've got 700 science. I'm contemplating if landscaping. Yeah, I do not like this mod that I've added, in fact. Right, we're back. I've removed that. I can't cope with that personally. I like to be able to click on things and just see how much science there are to unlock. So 400 for the explosives factory, 600 for the dynamite, so 1,000. So we're pretty close actually. So I think I'm going to move you to there, set you to be emptied, set you to be built with a speed. And we're going to put an explosives factory in. And what that will allow me to do is have the water from this come out to here, and we can build a nice little pumping station. That seems like a fun little idea, doesn't it? Are they still waiting to get to that? Yeah. Okay. We'll let you get to that in a moment. It's fine. How are we doing over here? Let's plan to plant some more trees. Yep, you there, boy. You, yeah, you. And one good oak stand will generally provide a metric hecton of trees. So, yeah. We'll be in a pretty good position. We will need a path. So, let's bear that in mind, but we can always come at it from the backside. Yeah. Anywho, you're going to tell me you can't get to that as well? No, no. Okay. Water supply is holding up. Food supply is holding up. They've still not built those either. Right. Yay, you did it. Well done, beavers. And instantly, we can delete this. So while we get explosives in place, what I'm going to do, because that is going to take me a little while to get set up, we will put in an large water pump, because this will provide quite a lot of the water for the colony. If I put you there and we get you built with a speed, then we can start letting water in and start increasing the size of the colony, because we've got a pretty good food supply. You know, we're sitting on full potatoes and carrots, and we've got potatoes and carrots in the ground. So, yeah, I think we look to start to increase the population, which means we will start to use more water up, which is good. But yeah, I like this little idea. I like this little idea as a way of starting to use up water. I thought it was quite clever. Thank you to the creator of this idea. We're going to just mark a bunch more trees to be cut down while we wait for oak trees to grow. Because we need more logs, you know? So that should start speeding that process up. Have they built that power meter yet? No. I'll get to it. It's not critical. This is staying full. And I know having having windmills underground does kind of suspend disbelief. But as I explained in the comment section, what it is because we've got the open top, the air currents are kind of swirling as they come in through that top. And the beaver engineers did all of the maths, and it works. Yeah. It's fine. Pure engineering. Just trust me, folks. Right, so we can start unlocking that. We've also got the science to unlock some dynamite, so that's cool. We don't have bad water pumping yet, though, so that will be an issue. So ultimately, we are going to need a path that gets us over to here. So, I mean, I think probably the sensible thing to do is just delete those trees that they've just planted, and probably those as well, and just get ourselves to that little bit of backwater. And we might have to hack down the scrap metal, but, you know, we'll get there. We'll get there. Right, how are you doing? You just need some logs. We've got the treated planks, I'm pretty sure. So let's get you built. And then we are going to need a little bit of automation, but only in terms of... Actually, let's get rid of you. We will come over. We will grab the rules. We will grab the rules from you. And then we will edit them. And we will just remove the seasonal aspect. Bosh, save and close. And you are the equivalent of 5 normal water pumps. So you are more than all of our water pumps. So we can just disable the automation on those and just have you running. And then what we want to do is I'm going to set that to be half is probably fine. Right. I'm going to do a precautionary save because I'm quite tired. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. And then we're going to delete that block. And if all is well, why have you not instantly closed? Okay. Hopefully you're going to be better behaved than that, sir. And then that essentially should be able to maintain the water supply for the whole colony continuously. And then what we're going to do is, for now, just going to buy a large thingy there. And that should let us significantly increase the amount of beavers we have. Now, if you watched me play on, was it Craters? The map that I did where I did the custom version of the map. I think we kept most of our colony hydrated with like 2 or 3 of these. Now, I wasn't going for a big colony. But I think that we can start to now think about some relatively rapid expansion. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to delete some houses. We're going to come in here. We're going to unlock the biggest house. And let's bung in a couple of these. And that will give us 18 beds instead of 9. So that's doubled up those. We'll prioritize the building of those because, you know, that seems sensible. And yeah, this is a brilliant idea. I'm never going to always remember names of particularly new commenters, and I think this was a comment from a new viewer, but this was a brilliant idea. This was a brilliant idea. Thank you for this. I love this suggestion. We are actually starting to make use of the water that's outside, and we can just let this water flow now, which is even better. You know, as they said in the movie, let it flow, let it flow. That will make more sense if you have kids or had kids of a certain age. Right, and we're going to go even crazier, and we're going to double up with those. We're going to have a lot more beavers suddenly, and we're going to end up with spare beavers, and that's fine. Because probably what we're going to do is end up putting in some builders' huts. To speed up how we can get things done. What I think we want to do once we can get over here, is we probably need, I mean, we can just about get into here, but it's going to be a bit of a faff. So something that I think we want to do, well, one thing that we want to do is get rid of this little oak tree that's in the way. But something that we're going to want to do then is to look at clearing this scrap metal. Pretty sharpish, I think. So I'm thinking maybe we throw in a big storage for scrap metal over here. Get this all ripped out. And I'm wondering if I mark all of those trees for cutting, can these guys, no, these guys can't get them. But that's fine. We'll just throw in a lumberjack to come over here and cut these trees down. Let's just grab one with some automation rules on it. It helps if I press the right key. It's going to be a little bit of an exercise. I mean, the other option is we could just make use of some hauling and put it over here and bring it across. But, you know, to me it seems sensibler, good word usage, to chuck one over here out of the way, get all of this ripped down once we've got more beavers, and then put in the bad water pumping. Yeah. Seems like a sensible thing to do. We now have essentially unlimited water. We have the problem that we have unlimited water. So let's grab the rules from you and apply them to you. Yeah, we have unlimited water now, which we really now just need a way to make use of it. We do need to get the zip lines going as well. So you for now can probably be slightly lower priority because we've got this guy providing our water until we can't pump enough. But I think what we want to think about doing now is probably a couple of things, which will come as a consequence of what's going to be a probably pretty rapid growth in population. So I think a few things we can think about doing, and this is probably going to be the end of the video. I'm not actually sure how long this episode is, but I'm running out of mental steam. And I apologize if it's a short one. It's been a long day, folks. It's been a long day. I think what we want to do is, in no particular order, well, actually in a particular order, get this scrap metal ripped out, get some bad water pumping going, and then get some explosives, get this deepened so it can store a bit more bad water, get a bunch of bad water storage and pumping going. We only have this bad water seep to provide us with bad water, so we can't make use of any of the cool things that the words like seeps and stuff. Not seeps, domes. Although I can't see them. I'm being slow today, folks. I'm being slow. Maybe they're not on there because we don't have the sources. That's interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Because there's not a source, we don't have the other ones. That's interesting. Not seen that before. But yeah, we want to make this deeper so it holds a bit. And then we can make use of some storage and just pump a bunch, I guess. and basically increasing population significantly, starting to think more about defending from the water that is bad. Beyond just fencing it in with contamination barriers. That's an approach, but I think there's probably better ways of dealing with it. But yeah, that's all going to be for next time, because I'd forgotten that. And that's a sign that I'm quite tired, folks. For today, we are done, because I need to get this edited and get some rest. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members, and I will see you all next time.